Our stuff set up. All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to the playground. I'm Pixie Phoenix, I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. Tonight we're doing our live action role-playing session of Blades in the Dark. I'm joined tonight by Nox, our storyteller, Skot, who plays Aldrich. I'm Desi.
No, I play Aldrich.
No, I'm sorry. Zack, we're in a different order than vampires, so it's throwing me off big time. Sorry, Skot is Mephis, and Zack is Aldrich. Oh, it's that kind of day. Remember, guys, we do pay attention to chat, and we love to hear from you, even if we don't vocally acknowledge it. But how has everyone been?
Having to replan the adventure this evening since we're missing some people. Mitchell, we miss you.
We miss you, bitch.
You left us on cliffhanger, asshole. So this is going to be an interesting kind of change up from last session, where last session we did basically it was all set up to get to a score.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight's going to have to be something a little different.
Everything looks good.
So, are we ready to begin?
I think we are. Everything looks good on the technical side.
All right. Well then, welcome to our Thursday night Blades in the Dark session. So, after the end of our last session, where Schooner, Aldrich, and Desi went on a little bit of a wild goose chase to finally arrive at the location of a very valuable score, only for Schooner to almost hit Desi in the head with a brick. with a small brigade of the Lost who is following them. So, as of after that situation, the crew has retreated back to their grotto and decided that maybe they are going to come back to that particular score when they've got more crew and a better angle to work at. So that leads us to tonight. It is spitting rain on the streets of Duskfall, and as a result, many of the denizens that would normally be out cavorting or selling their wares late have closed up shop or gone home, leaving Duskfall a lonesome, dark, cold place, but a place where, for those who are willing to get their hands dirty and willing to venture out, they might find some coin, or perhaps something else. So, what do you want to accomplish tonight? What are you looking to do?
I know I'm still working on the book. What's my status with that?
It's on the top.
Right, but is it in a descriptive way? Like, what am I doing with it? Like, what if?
So as of now, the thrice locked book, 2 of the locks on the book have come undone, but the primary lock, which is holding the main cover together, is still still has not been penetrated by Desi's nimble fingers. You feel like if you had maybe one more night to work at it, you could actually pry it open and get to its secrets and discover what's on those pages. But in this evening, it still eludes you.
Okay.
So, you guys have a couple different ways that you could perhaps things that you could do per se. You could attempt to go find a score, something to put some coin in your pocket, maybe gain some allies, maybe piss some people off. You could attempt to go seize a claim and bring more territory under your control so you have access to more resources and better opportunities. You could theoretically, if you wanted to lash out and maybe establish yourself as a crew not to be trifled with, you could attempt to take on or target another crew, both to attempt to knock them down a peg to make yourselves look a little better and to also bolster your reputation amongst the factions in the cities. Or you can figure out something completely different that I have not listed.
I do kind of like the idea of branching out, like taking a little bit more territory. That way we have some more resources and stuff.
Yeah.
Try to stake a new claim.
All right, so on your crew sheet, if you look at the crew sheet, you'll notice that there is in the very middle, of course, is your lair. But each of the individual...
God, it's so small.
You can blow it up quite a bit.
That's okay. Because I still have to think of like the placement on screen. So trying to keep stuff out of our faces.
You have a couple of different things you can go. Now you'll notice that it's a little difficult to see, yes, but each of those individual parts of the crew sheet, where your lair is, there are roads going to each. So theoretically, those are the proper route to get to those additional pieces of turf. However, there's nothing to say with the proper amount of setup that you can't jump to something else completely unconnected.
I'm already looking at the offertory.
Yeah, I think that was...
Since I'm at the whole occult thing, but at the same time, how sanctuary, I have sway.
I think offertory is a great one because it leads to Vice Den.
There we go. Hell yeah. Coin in downtime. Ooh. Make some investments.
So now you could just go straight to the Vice Den. There's nothing preventing you from just jumping straight to that.
Yeah, that offertory looks very appropriate for us, though. I think we should try that.
Okay.
It's a good start, yeah.
So then, let's make a... Who is going to make the fortune roll?
What goes into that?
So the fortune roll, if you look on the sheet, on the cult sheet, I actually believe it's also on each of your individual sheets as well, but it is.
It is. Where?
On the right. It is on the right side for the cult sheet. If you go down.
No kidding.
Oh, roll fortune. Okay. I see that. Okay, it's on the character sheets too.
Well, like, isn't it a rule? Like, we each get to take a roll, and then we take the highest one. Isn't that a thing? Can we make that a thing?
It is now.
Hey,
Well,
Yoru, go
so-
lay down.
So this is so if you guys are attempting to find an offeratory in order to figure out how you're going to establish yourselves there. In order to find it, you need information, obviously. So the fortune roll is kind of a how much do you have to work with to begin with. If you're working from a reasonable position of I have some idea of where this is to.
But it's a base roll. It's not like any one player's roll has better, or any one player.
Yeah, it's a purely base roll. So it's whoever.
So
wants
it really doesn't matter. Whoever wants to click the button.
Go for it, Memphis.
Okay, let's see. So basically, this is going to take about 20 minutes to figure out. Number of dice, 50?
No, just the one. I have no idea why it says 0 dice. So we're going to say
yeah.
As I say, we'll take the 4 off of that. So Memphis, when you bring this up to the group, or the group discusses this and you all agree that this is the appropriate way, who would be the person who would have contacted you with this information? Who would you have contacted to learn something like this?
Well, I mean, I only have one contact. Or could this have been anybody?
It can be whoever you want it to be.
I mean, I did the roll, but it could have come from any of us, right? I just happened to be the one who did the roll.
Correct.
I would think that because we're a cult, that, either we overheard something, we would have contacts that would give us this kind of information.
My contact is a spy.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So then we will say that Aldrich, your contact, Valeris, happened to mention to you that in another part of Char Hollow, they weren't really sure if it was in the Knackers or if it was in Dogtown.
Dogtown.
Or if it was in Old Village, but she was sure it was in one of those. That there was a wagon that was carrying a reasonable amount of coin that was heading to a church. So that is, with that little bit of a starting thread to pull on, how do you guys want to go about this? What is your first step in attempting to gain and procure more information to find and begin this?
I always fall back on my vice guy. Working in the market, I'm sure he hears lots of stuff.
I could send my Raven out there too.
So basically, this person told us that they saw this wagon in one of those places, but they didn't tell us exactly which one.
That they saw a wagon that was heading into those places with the coin in the back.
And basically, we're wanting that wagon because that's our offertory, kind of.
Well, you want to know wherever that wagon went, so you can stake that claim for the territory.
Oh, it's going to the offertory. Well, I mean, I think all of our contacts could potentially be useful. We could just go down the list until we figure out what we need to know.
Okay, so then, Memphis, what would you...
I mean, I could always go to my boy in the blue coats, the archivist, Jaren, and say, hey, what's with this wagon I've been hearing about wandering through our territory that we should be in control of and you haven't told me about, and why not?
Okay, so if you're demanding information like that, that's a
I'm kidding. I'm gonna always,
My
man.
lord.
always consort. Always consort. Be like, hey, my guy, my favorite blue coat archivist. I'm not trying to sway you though. I'm just consorting with you.
You go to bed? Jump to bed.
So, okay. You're going to consort. Now, I'm going to say, so if you want to do that, I'm going to say that this is that it's probably more of a controlled situation since you already have a little bit of information you're asking about. You have kind of a thread to pull on here, whereas but the effect will still be standard for that.
And do I put 2 for bonus die? Because I have 2 or does it automatically count the 2 that I already have in there?
It should already count the 2, but you do get an additional die for using your consort when you're trying to gather information on the target for a score.
Yes.
So, Jaren, where would you meet Jaren? How would you approach Jaren?
I think we met at the. Did we meet at the Commons last time?
So previously, you guys have met at Char Hollow Market, as he's been.
Oh, that was what it was. Yes. I mean, if that works, we can just kind of maintain that unless we need to switch up the location to avoid suspicion.
Well, tonight the market is likely going to be, given the weather out there, it's probably going to be a little bit unmanned. So there's going to be less people there. So it might actually raise more suspicion to be there. So.
I mean, he's also an archivist. Does he patrol or does he like work at a place or?
He does both.
I'm trying to think of what would be like a place that I would be able to easily catch him on a relatively regular basis.
Is the Pot Liquor Flats like a place that
I still hope so. Okay, we're going to meet at the Pot Liquor Flats.
The Pot Liquor Flats. So where the hell?
It's right
above Char Hollow Market.
Right by our
You're just
place.
making shit up. Don't.
It's like right on our street.
Yeah.
I see that. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna meet at Horsehoof Way.
So he is out on patrol still in Char Hollow and is less than thrilled about it. So when you pull him to the side and you ask him about this and query him about where this effectory might be, he tells you that it is actually in Old Village. It is just off of West Street right near the Silk. He does tell you, however, since you rolled a 6 and you have a reasonable amount of information to go on, he tells you the location where it is, but he also tells you that there is active patrols of the Lost who go through that area, at least partially because they are receiving some amount of payment to guard this, because a fair amount of coin does come into this location. He also tells you that he is not sure who is actually operating the effectory. He says, but he knows it is not the Lost. He says it is somebody else.
Yeah, they're just being paid to protect it. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
So, now that you have a location?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the crew and then fill them in on what I just found out.
Here, I will even, while you are filling them in, I will attempt to put a location marker for you there so you can actually point and be like, it's right there.
Yeah, see it? It's right there. Right there.
So,
So yeah, looks like I talked to my boy in the blue coats, and he told me that it's over there where it's at the red dot, coincidentally enough. And whoever is in charge of it is paying the loss for protection.
So, what is your next step here?
So are we treating this basically just like a score? Does it kind of
So-
go the same way?
So it does basically go the same way. The only major difference is that when you're done with it, you get you add the turf to your
Okay.
to your crew. The other part about it, the other thing. Now I'm sitting here looking for pages, and I'm like, anyhow, we'll come back to the other thing because you do get something else to go along with it.
Okay.
So you now have a target. What is the next thing that you're going to do?
Yes, scout it, get some information.
Yeah.
One thing that might be helpful is to see if we can, if I could send my Raven out and see what path the caravan takes, or the cart takes, the wagon, whatever. Because if we can get it outside of their territory and maybe sneak in using Trojan horse that shit,
Hmm.
might be able to sneak in the caravan. They'll wheel us right to the door, you know.
Nice. I like it.
Okay, so you want to. How are you going to go about scouting it out? What is the method that you are going to use?
I was gonna send my Raven. That way he can get an aerial visual.
So here is the kind of going to be the issue for you with that. I would say that using, however you're going to do that, because the Raven is going to not be able to get in, give you more than say a large outside view of the area. If that's what you're looking for, that I would say is probably going to put you. That again controlled because you're not having to risk anything for it, but your effect's likely to be fairly limited in that. And getting any information that's more than the wide scale view.
Looking.
I mean, we wouldn't get like maybe a location of where it is and at least a heading. I mean, what the hell? It's worth doing it. I mean, why not?
Another option would be to set up on the roof of like down West Street,
That's what I'm wondering. Study a person, document item.
like on top of Gratz End Flats.
Yeah, we could go ahead and head that way in hopes of maybe getting a lucky intercept. But I mean, there's really no harm in sending your Raven out to see if it gets us anything for us, is there?
I was just trying to see if maybe the Raven would be able to pick up the path that the caravan takes.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome if we could get a sighting like it's right here and this is where it was headed, and hopefully we intercept it before it disappears.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what is the you're saying you're going to use the Raven, so I'm going to guess that you're going to be using your survey skill for this.
It'd be
Or
survey
you-
or hunt. So I'm looking for a specific.
Mm.
Hunt. We're hunting.
I would say, I mean, you could go either way. So I will let you. I will put it to you.
I'll do a hunt.
Okay. So. Yeah. So roll for it. Do you want to push yourself for an additional die?
We'll try just that right now. Control.
Yeah, I will say it's controlled
Standard.
and standard for. Nice. Okay, so what you find is that your raven is able to actually pick up on the trail of it on its way. It appears to come across Char Hollow Bridge. It goes to a couple different places in Dogtown before crossing down into the Sheets, crossing over the Knackers, and then finally heading down into Old Village. To kind of give you here, I will draw a.
Well, it looks like there's only one way to go from the Sheets to the Knackers, and there's no way to go directly from the Knackers to Old Town unless I'm missing something. Or Old Village, sorry.
Char Hollow Bridge is at the north, up by Dogtown.
Mm-hmm.
So you say it came down that bridge road?
Yeah.
Between the Sheets and the Knackers. Yeah.
Right. And if it goes into the Knackers and then it ends up in Old Village, there looks like there's only one way for that to possibly happen. It's got to go on that bridge at Roastmeat Alley.
Yeah.
Unless I'm missing something.
Mm.
So if we just haul ass over to there, maybe we'll catch it. Are there vehicles in this game besides like boats?
Yeah, there's like wagons.
So there's no like steam type stuff or anything like that. It's all
Like,
pretty much horse.
Like steamboats, yeah, sure, but not like there's not cars or anything like that.
I wanted a really loud, smoky steam car.
So there's your super convoluted map.
Oh wow!
Whoa, wow!
I got my water bottle. I have to drink.
I don't know. I kind of think getting him in the Knackers is a.
I would recommend that we rush to that
I'm
bridge there,
looking for a
Roastmeat,
friend.
and then if we don't encounter it by then, we kind of cross over and head toward the Knackers, and hope we catch. You know what I mean? Because it has to cross that bridge at Roastmeat Alley.
Does anywhere in this path cross like somewhere where there would be a crowd of people, or where people would crowd up, or something like that?
Maybe on a normal night, but tonight with the weather, the streets are pretty deserted. So it appears when it makes its route like this, what it did originally, it's kind of basically stopping, getting pickups from places, having people run out, drop things off, pick things up, and then move on.
Yeah. I mean, I think our best bet is to, just get over to Roastmeat Alley as fast as possible, and then head into the Knackers if we don't see it, and see if we can intercept it in the Knackers.
Desi.
She's in the kitchen real quick.
Got it. Okay, so are you guys going to strike out to... Are you striking out on this to go hunt this down, or...
I would assume so, unless there's something else we would do to prepare at this point.
And that's kind of what I was going to ask is is there anything else that you want to do to attempt to prepare for this? Is there any additional scouting or questions that you want to ask, or?
Well, I feel like we're kind of a little bit on a time crunch because unless, I mean, well, we really don't know how long it takes, but I would hate for us to rush to Roast Meat Alley only for the thing to already be at its destination.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else we could possibly get.
Are there like fireworks or something that could sound like gunfire?
I would say
I'm
I would
thinking of
say that
something that
sounds.
would at least make the carriage stop, and maybe get once they stop, maybe we'd be able to like just jump into the back and
Well, one of us could
Well-
play distraction.
I mean, they're going to stop. The thing probably makes multiple stops during its normal cruising around picking up offerings.
Okay.
I mean, otherwise it wouldn't do this weird meandering route. It's going around collecting offerings.
Okay.
So I would assume we're going to be able to get it. It's going to stop, or like Pig said, or if nothing else, one of us can be a distraction. We could easily just fall in front of it like we're
That's
sick.
exactly what I was thinking. And the other two
Yeah. So
take around the back.
right. So I think the real issue here now is to just load out and head out.
All right.
Okay, so then that sounds like this is the beginning of the score. So, then I guess it is time for the engagement roll.
Is it?
So, your base is going to be 1 die. You were able to contact somebody who knew something about it, so you've got an additional die for it. And you also have I would say you also have somewhat of a map, which would be an additional die as well. So that's +3. I would say, however, that because this plan is contingent on catching the carriage at kind of the right time. So it would be contingent on something, which is going to take 1 die off. I would also say that even though you have a map, you don't have any sort of knowledge about what kind of defenses that this is carrying. If there's just one guy in there who's picking stuff up, or if there are additional people who are in the carriage guarding the money, as it were. So I would say that also takes a die off. So you're at a +1 for your die roll.
Do I get an extra for weaving the web?
I added that.
Oh, so we basically just get 1 die.
Yeah, so you're getting you have 2. So you're getting 2 die for this.
2 die. So who does this roll?
I would say it's probably you, since you used your contacts for it.
So how do I roll for this? What am I doing?
So you go to.
Oh, this is just a straight up roll. This is not based on any skill or anything.
No, this is the engagement roll. So yeah, so this is so. No, if you go to the crew sheet,
there it is.
You see roll engagement.
Cool. Let's
Nice.
see if it'll take me less than 5 minutes to find it.
It was right under roll fortune, so it's right there.
Okay, so number of dice, dose.
Nice.
Nice.
Ooh.
Damn.
God, you guys are rolling.
5 and 6s tonight.
I was gonna say you guys are rolling amazing. I don't know why you guys can't seem to roll like this on Mondays.
No shit.
And the night isn't over yet. We may be getting all our good rolls out of the way early, so let's wait and see.
It's the luck because I'm here. As soon as I leave, you guys are screwed.
That's right.
Probably.
True.
So where are you guys attempting to catch this? Where are you guys attempting to jump on board here?
We were gonna start at Roast Meat Alley and then just like start walking down or reverse the path and see if we
Yeah.
ran into the cart.
Okay, so when you get to Roast Meat Alley, it's not there. As you follow the path around, you go across over the ridge, over soap water, into the sheets,
Mm.
looking over the bridge, and seeing the bubbles floating down from the work that's being done. Crossing back over and then in down Brook Street and down. It is as you come down Brook Street and turn the corner that you find the carriage heading down the street towards you.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So
I keep walking down Brook.
So when you see it down the street there, the first thing that you notice is that there are a quartet of guards who are walking alongside of it, who are basically on the corners, in addition to the driver. They are not, from where you see, looking at them immediately, you think that maybe the driver has some sort of ranged weapon, maybe he has a pistol or something like that, and you think that the guy who is on the driver's right side may have like a pistol or something. But the other three guys definitely are not wielding anything more than basically billy clubs. So there is an armed contingent there, but obviously either they think that they are so high and mighty that they don't need to resort to immediately lethal force, or they've never ever had anybody who's attempted to do something like this.
Right. Oh. Now, are we observing? Are they just like coming down the road? Are they stopping, knocking on doors? I mean, is the carriage huge? Does it look like we could even hide in it? I mean, what other kind of information?
Okay, so the carriage looks like an old kind of Western wagon, except that instead of the tarp being like rounded on the top, it is squared off. It is. You could definitely. There's definitely stuff in the back. You could definitely a full-grown man could definitely, at the very least, sit in there. One thing that you notice is that it's not that the carriage is ornate, like it doesn't look like it's all fancy and stuff like that, but the carriage definitely does look like it's perhaps a little nicer than what you would expect in this area. It's a little more upkept. The tarp that's going over the top isn't worn or threadbare. It doesn't look, again, it's not like it's gilded. It's not like something that would see Lord Strangford driving around in. But it is certainly nicer than what the other business owners in the local area would probably have.
And is it slowly making its way? Is it stopping from door to door looking for offerings?
No, it is not stopping, certainly, but it is slowly rolling towards Brook Street. They're very, very. This is a very lackadaisical speed. They're not moving with any haste here. They may even be, to give you some information, looking at this rain and looking at the situation as, say, that they don't need to hurry. There's nobody else out on the street, so they can take their time and and do what they want to. Little do they know.
Yes. And one last question.
Sure.
Like when they do engage in their collecting of offerings, does like one of the guards go up to collect it, or does the person come out?
You haven't seen them collect anything.
We haven't seen that. We haven't observed that. Okay. So are the three of us still together, or Alder, did you continue down Brook Street?
I wanted to continue down Brook Street. That way I could set up my rifle at a distance
Okay.
as they turn that corner.
I volunteer as tribute for the distraction. I have two in sway, so should they get nervous or freak out on me, I can at least try my hand at.
How do the flashback things work?
So, so depending on what you want to do for a flashback, is how much stress it costs. But you basically pay up to 2 stress, and then you can flash back and say, and then whatever action that you would have taken that would have given you some information or some advantage for the situation.
Well, here's what I'm thinking, because the three of us are no longer together. So now, basically, my thought is there some way we can just block the bridge? Because if we block the bridge, then they're going to have to get out. Oh, actually, though, then that means that might be more trouble than it's worth. I was thinking if we put some sort of a minor obstruction on the bridge, then the guards would clear the obstruction, and that could be an opportunity for us to jump into the car. That was kind of my thought process.
You could do that. You could absolutely. That is absolutely something that you could do. But the amount of stress that I'm going to charge you here is which bridge. So if you're talking about the bridge between over Soapwater, then you're looking at that probably then less stress than you would for the other one between the Sheets and Knackers, because you at least have the territory in.
I think that's the one he was talking about, was the one with Sheets
Actually,
and Knackers. No.
Whatever bridge works. Either the whole idea I was thinking again was we put enough obstruction on the bridge that the cart has to stop, and they're like, well, shit, we can't get across. So you 4 strapping lads that are my guards go, and maybe even the driver too, go clear that out of the way so we can continue on. And while they're stopped clearing that out of the way and distracted, we can try to get one or all 3 of us onto the cart. That was it.
Okay, so how would you have blocked the bridge?
Well, before we do that, I mean, I want to know what the other 2 people think about that approach, because we could always try something different.
No, I like it. I'm still going to go down the street and set up shop. That way, whoever's getting in the cart, if they run into trouble, I can at least back them up.
Yeah, and we have more time to prepare, too, if we're just like, let's just do something on the bridge crossing onto Roastmeat Alley and then wait for the offering cart to come around.
So you want to just to clarify, you want to block this bridge?
Yeah, I mean, that gets more time, right?
Sure. So the question is how are you going to block the bridge?
So I guess look around for. I mean, are there boxes? Are there rocks? Are there
I have a point in wreck.
Ooh, yeah.
Place item or obstacle with savage force or carefully applied sabotage. Breach defenses with force and create distractions and chaos.
Yeah, I've got 2 in wreck.
I was going to say, if I'm not so if you were going to do the flashback, Desi, then that I think you can do that. But Memphis, I think this is going to be something you specifically do if you're going to do the flashback.
Well, I mean, then Desi could do it. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Stopping us from doing it that way, is there? I mean,
no, not at all. But it matters in terms of who has stress.
Right, and so, I mean, we're working as a team. You know, I mean, so could we share the stress? Could we, however? But my thing was, no, we can't do that.
No, so Desi, if you're going to do this, for blocking it, I would say that'll add 1 stress to you. If you want to do this, and then how you said you wanted to use your rec skill to, okay, so what stress for that? Do you want to push yourself?
I only have 2 stress left, so I mean, is there a bargain?
So here is the bargain I was going to offer you. You can get an additional die. However, because it is the only bridge into Old Village, blocking it is going to get notice from the old village side. People are going to notice that the only way onto their island now is blocked.
That might actually help us if there's a crowd of them over there. So I wouldn't worry about that. We're just
Is it going
basically
to get
trying-
us any heat, though? That's the question is, if we're going to draw crowds, are we going to be drawing the wrong kinds of crowds?
maybe. I mean, but that's the bar. Or is it possible to help somebody with an activity on a flashback?
If you have a skill for it, I think so.
I mean, I have nothing
Let
in
me-
rec, but I mean, I would.
I can do it then. I actually have a higher rec skill than Desi, so I have 2 in rec.
Do you have any stress?
I have 4 stress, so I got another 5 to
Then
go.
it might be better that you do and I make the assist.
Yeah, why don't you do it, Aldrich, and Desi can assist you.
Okay.
Because
And then what's the
I
stuff
have
on that?
literally 2 stress left. So bargain would, possibly make up for it. But yeah.
I mean, that would be 3 dice, right?
Mm.
Your 2 and her 1 to help.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there's nothing. I'm just did a really quick look over on the. Aldrich? Are you gonna do the?
Yeah, I've got more stress.
Okay.
I've got more stress to
To burn.
Yes.
to burn and a higher rec skill, so it seems
Okay, so then I will charge you the
logical.
1, and then so. Desi, are you going to help?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then I will put that 1 stress back. So that gives you dice. And are you also going to? Okay, so you can't do. So never mind. So okay, so roll 3.
Okay. Controlled.
I would say this is risky. And standard
Okay.
effect.
Standard. Okay.
Now you guys know you can also. Okay. What I was going to say was, you guys can trade on. If you look on your cheat sheets, one of the things that you can do, if you can trade position for effect. So
Okay.
you can. So for instance, if I say, "Oh, it's risky standard," you can say, "Okay, well, if I do this as a desperate attempt, can I increase the effect?" Or if I choose to have a limited effect, can I control my situation more?
That makes sense. Okay.
Okay, so on a 4, so here's what happens. As you guys are crossing over the bridge, Aldrich, you have this brilliant idea to do this. There are a ton of there's some debris on there. There's some boxes that got left. You notice that there is some that there's a carriage with nothing pulling it. So you guys take a couple minutes. You push the carriage with nothing pulling it in the way. As you are pulling the carriage that is in the way across the bridge to block it, there is a horrible snapping sound as the wood that is underneath of the carriage that is holding the axle, basically, that was rotting, that you didn't notice, snaps, and the entire thing just kind of collapses into
You must have been
horrible-
reading my mind, storyteller, because I was trying to finagle in my brain, like, how could I, like, distract in a way that one of us could, like, somehow snap. I was literally thinking snap the axle, and I was just like, but I couldn't get my brain there. I was just like, never mind. And you offered to take the role. I was like, oh, just go. I can't.
So the axle snaps, leaving this this carriage basically right across the road, blocking it almost entirely. Which is exactly what you wanted. That's awesome, except that you hear somebody scream, "What the fuck?" And you turn around, and on the other side of the carriage, in one of the little shanty apartments, there is a kind of heavy-set guy who is looking down at you guys with a pissed-off look on his face. And you realize that you have
We've been made.
probably just wrecked this dude's carriage.
His
So-
rotted out carriage.
Was it rotted out and destroyed before you did it?
It was rotted before we did it.
That is fair.
Destroyed before we did it.
So you have we will say there is, let us get out one of those lovely clocks.
So shooting him won't make any difference because I'm ready to kill him.
This is a flashback. We can keep going down that road, but this doesn't go anywhere you really want to.
I'm going to use my unusual weapon on him.
Where is my fucking tokens here? You know, like last week, like I knew exactly where everything was. I was like, boom, this is super easy. I know where everything is. Today, I'm just like, no idea.
One of them days.
It's always one of them days.
Ah, there we are.
So, there is a clock. Here, we're going to set it like right over Strangford Island. This clock symbolizes how alert the lost are to something that is going on, since they're the ones who are. And we're going to tick that once.
Trivial Pursuit.
So, does that end? Aldrich, is that the end of your flashback? Or do you need to do more? Okay. So, flashback ends. You're a little more stressed because of it, but you also know that there is a blockage here. We'll even put a little.
And then I think setting up in Pigtail Alley, or at least for me, with my rifle.
Yeah.
That way, once they get to that bridge, I should have a pretty good shot down the alleyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hopefully there's not going to be anyone else around, and these guys are just going to come up on the wreck and be like, shit, we just got to clear this out. But we should be waiting wherever we can to be kind of out of sight. Now, you said it looked like there was enough room for a person to hide in there. Was that about it, or were we able to kind of tell, or would we have to get closer to make that determination?
No, you can. You've seen these before. This is not an uncommon size for a carriage, so you guys know if there's nothing in the back of it, you could easily fit, say, 6 or 8 people back there.
Okay, so it really depends on how much they've collected,
or what else is in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're going to wait for them to show up, right?
Okay, so you guys are backing off from where you encountered them on Brook Street, and you are. What is everybody doing? Aldrich, you said you were going to head back up to Pigtail Alley.
Yeah, where their path basically crosses in Pigtail Alley. There's that alley between Pigtail Alley and the bridge, the blockage on the bridge. I figured I'd set up on the end of that alley.
Okay, can you ping it for me so that way I can see exactly where you're?
Oh, how do I do that?
If you just mouse over wherever you're planning and just hold the left mouse button down, it should do like that.
So like, yeah, right where you did the circle.
Okay, so basically right here.
Yeah, it's not doing left mouse button's not doing that.
He said you have to hold it down for a second, and then it will.
I just did it.
Ah. It's weird.
And you guys notice it color coordinates to the color in your box down there, so people can know who's clicking what.
Nice.
So right there.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to be right here. Desi, what are you doing?
I'm playing Pokemon.
Oh.
does. It
think
looks
was
like
going to
a
work
little
up
ring
to
in
this point,
Pokemon
so I had
Red.
no idea.
He's holed up there.
So, before Aldrich heads down the alleyway, Aldrich,
Mm.
and before Aldrich tries to leave, I mean, the idea is we're trying to get on this inside this carriage. So if we get in it, are you gonna just follow us? Because you're down the alley now.
Yeah, I don't think all three of us are going to fit in the carriage anyway. It didn't seem like it was
Depending
that
on what's in size,
Right,
didn't they
right.
say it could hold 6 to 8 people?
I guess we'll find out. Okay.
Okay.
Depending on what's already in there.
If you can both get in, then I'll see if I can get in too. But my main thing is if
Then
something
I would
happens,
suggest you send your Raven to watch over us so you know what's going on.
Okay.
Well, he'll follow us. If he doesn't get in it, he'll just follow us.
So, but yeah, I'll go ahead and stick with Memphis and jump in the back.
Yeah, I mean, I figure we're just gonna find the nearest place right there to sort of hang back out of sight, but not be too far away. You know what I mean? Just like in, I don't know exactly what it's like there with all the architecture and everything, but just a place. I mean, it's raining anyway, so it shouldn't be too hard. Just kind of stand back and be still and wait for the wagon to show up.
So okay, so where are you just to reiterate, where are you waiting again? Are you also so you're gonna be like at the mouth of the alley here.
Yeah. So the way I'm looking at it is, I don't know what this, again, what this architecture looks like, but I'm figuring these guys are coming down the street, and all I want is for us to be hidden enough that they just don't notice us. You know what I mean? This isn't like we're trying to be super sneaky. Just
It's a dark rainy night, so if as long as I'm assuming, since we never talked about it, what was I guess we can answer that question. What is the load everybody is running with for tonight?
Oh yeah, that's a great question.
If it's a dark and stormy night and we're hanging to the alleys, I'd almost go normal.
I'm definitely normal.
Yeah, I'll go normal.
I mean, on a normal load, I'm not normal.
But yeah, no.
So yeah, so that won't be a problem. Like this is a fairly poor area, so at most they've got Leviathan oil lamps, which are not, on the best of nights, they're not going to give you a whole lot of light. On a night like tonight, it's going to be, significantly reduced visibility.
Okie doke.
So, what is the skill you are going to use to? How are you going to just try to sneak onto the?
Yes, as crappy as that sounds, that's probably the best. I mean, well, so they're coming up.
I could try to use my prowl.
The problem is I have to try to sneak in there, and Memphis is not sneaky at all.
You can do a. You can lead a group action where you would roll for both of you.
Sounds good.
But that does cost stress. That's an additional stress.
Is there absolutely nothing mid-game that you can do to take any stress off?
Nope.
Mm-mm. And since we cut in the middle of the last
yeah,
session,
that's why I'm screwed.
Oh, so you guys didn't get to do downtime last time?
No,
because
we didn't do the score.
Because we spent literally all of last session getting to the point where we were going to do a score, and then we.
So if you don't do a score, you can't do downtime, or was it just because you guys ran out of time?
We just ran out of time.
It seems like you should have got your downtime when we started this session tonight. Not getting your downtime seems kind of. I mean, that's a very important part.
Oh yeah, I'm fucked. Like. There is nothing else to it. I have to pick and choose what I roll real damn careful now.
Well, if there's any way for me to take on the stress, I have no problem doing that.
So you can. So here is how I would say you can do that. So if you don't have anything, skill, you can push yourself for 1.
Well, I mean, she's going to be the leader because she's got the prowl, right? What's your prowl?
No, but you can do it. What I'm saying
He's
there,
saying instead of it being a group roll and stressing her, you can push yourself to have
1 in prowl, and then you can lead the group roll.
And I would be assisting.
Wait, I can lead the group roll?
Yes, because you.
Okay, I'm going to ask again. Desi, what is your prowl skill?
1.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, sure, I'll do it.
Okay, so then, now Desi, if you assist, that will be.
Oh, okay.
stress
Okay,
for
that's
you.
the trade-off then.
So
Yeah,
so here's what I
Yes.
so
Fucking prowling too.
okay
I'll just
so
do it.
so if you push yourself, so there's 2 stress. You're leading the group roll, so that's another stress. So here is the last question that I have for you. So you've got 1 die for this. Do you want to also accept a devil's bargain? I will give you, and because of the situation, I will give you the ability to also have a devil's bargain. And you guys keep in mind, you guys can also suggest the devil's bargain.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around how that works. So that's basically we're doing that because Desi just doesn't want to take on the extra stress.
So if Desi takes on basically any more stress, she's putting herself at risk of trauma.
Yeah.
But you're saying that either of us can do, or both of us can do a devil's bargain to add?
No, she's saying we can come up with if we have ideas for devil's bargains, we can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so devil's bargain. So that's one of the things about Blades in the Dark that's cool is that that's not something that only the storyteller can present. Like if one of you guys is like, hey, remember that one guy? What if he shows up and it's a really inconvenient time? Like you guys can do that kind of stuff to one another.
Yeah, I'm just.
I could say he sneaks in, but he breaks the axle on this one too.
I'm not doing it because then we're nowhere. No, that's the thing. I'm trying to think of how you balance out making it a worthwhile devil's bargain without crippling yourself to the point where you wouldn't do it, or without making it so easy that there's no point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was thinking, the dude that we broke his wagon, he could stick his head back out again and be like, what are you going to do about my wagon? But I'm like, that might be too bad of a bargain. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to figure out how to do the right balance to make it worthwhile.
So here is how I would what I would say to that is the carriage comes up to it, and while they are clearing it out, them having to clear that out is going to be loud, having to move some rubble out of the way. So that's going to draw attention. Doesn't necessarily mean attention to you, but that's going to draw attention. So that would be worth, say, an extra tick on the alert status of the gang.
And just for us to get 2 dice instead of 1.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do you think it's worth it or not?
I think the odds are kind of slim as it is. So you being the one taking heat, I think it could be worth it. But it's up to you.
You know what?
Stress, not heat. Sorry, the stress.
Do it.
Go for it.
Do it.
All right.
This is not a game for the timid. Let's go. You know what? Forget that. I'm not sneaking. I'm walk up and I'm gonna execute all 5 of them.
God dang.
And the guy from the fat guy from the everybody's dying tonight.
I mean, if you want to prowl and do that, like we can do that, but that affects
I got that prowl too.
Stupid limit. Okay.
I'll tell you, we need to put some points in prowl at some, or I need to put some. Anyway, okay. So prowl, what's the position? Risky.
Route risky. Standard.
Cosmic effect.
And then your 2 die.
Oh, like a 5. See that 1? I didn't need to make the devil's bargain.
Okay, so here is
it'd be that way though, right?
Yeah.
If we hadn't taken it, we'd got to 1.
It'd have been like a critical failure.
So as you climb, so let me reset the scene. So comes up onto the bridge. You hear the guards, and they're like, "Oh, some fucking asshole broke his fucking wagon and didn't even bother to move it. Jesus Christ." So the 4 guards move off of their position and start throwing shit and moving the
Debris.
debris and the broken down wagon. In the middle of all of this, the heavy guy who's up on in the apartments like leans over the side and is like, "Are you guys fucking kidding me? Like there was just somebody else here who moved that and broke it. And now you guys are pitching it over the side. What is it? Is it shit on me day?" So
That's like the extra attention thing.
Mm-hmm.
so yes.
Oh.
So this is the here. Let me.
Yeah, I'm
Let
gonna
me
note
put-
that guy's address because some other night.
You know, that's funny you
I'm-
should mention that because somebody else has already done that exact same thing with somebody else.
Really?
Yeah, the last session, Mitchell's like, okay, I got that lady's. We're gonna come back and rob her.
Yeah, I want to remember where that guy lives because I'm gonna come back and hurt him.
If I remember correctly, that lady lived at 4 Swinegate Court.
He be remembering shit.
She go get robbed.
So
I'm gonna stab that guy and then write gluttony on the wall in his blood.
front.
Every time I move up to see it, you move it up even more.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
I know. I'm like trying to center it on my screen
Oh,
so we can
whatever.
see everything.
I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it. I don't care. Let's go. I want some desperate situations here. Let's do it.
Excuse me.
That's gonna be the world's tiniest thing, but you know what? For right now, I don't care because
Totally out of game. But I think I just had the light bulb moment for our streaming dilemma. I think I may know a way to rig it.
Okay. Awesome.
If we do something like Zoom or Google Hangout, whatever they're calling it now, and if I can make sure that our video placement is the same every week, then I should be able to use a graphics template, but go in and multiply the number of camera boxes.
makes sense.
Like, it's making sense in my head because that's how I've had to do things before, just with the single box, but I learned how to move it around. So I'll play with this tomorrow. Because tomorrow's Friday. I don't day stream on Fridays.
Okay, so I
just had to get that out because if I didn't say it out loud, I'd forget.
Mm-hmm. I understand that.
Thank you.
Okay, does that make sense?
Oh, let me move my character sheet.
I'm
One's
not.
the lost, like the roaming guards, and then one is the carriage, like the alert of the guards at the carriage.
Right. So the people who are actually now who are guarding the carriage are like
A little suspicious.
yeah, they're kind of like, what other fucking people? Like now they're like, So, Aldrich, you've watched all of this. What is your what is your next move? What are you going to do now?
That Raven's gonna go fly and take a shit in that guy's mouth.
Nice.
That'll shut him up.
Yeah, I don't know.
This
He'll
is my
probably
husband, folks. This is my husband.
He'll just yell even louder. What kind of night am I having? Oh my god!
All right, so we're gonna tick all the
Distraction
way
enough,
up.
he tumbles right out the window.
So we're gonna tick all the way up on the Lost.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
So
So wait a minute. The guy leaned out. He yelled. Those guys got a little bit suspicious, but me and Desi got up to the cart successfully.
yes, you got into the cart.
Is it
Okay.
there room for a third person?
Yeah, this is the cart. So when you get into the back of the cart, there's a lockbox that is very, very securely fastened into the back. It's like riveted onto the wood, and like whoever did this like specifically knew what they were doing. But in addition to that, there are some books. They're something like the books are bound in black leather with a gold embossed throne. It looks like it's gold leaf on the front of it, and on that there is a red leather figure that is on the throne who looks like he is holding up a sword and has a crown on his head. And as you're flipping, like you flip these books open, like there are quite a few of them in there. As you flip it open, like this is an entire Bible about this god that you've never heard of before, and it sounds like absolute bullshit to you.
But they have money to finance them from somebody. Okay. Well, the whole idea is one of us needs to kind of signal to Aldrich, come on.
And we're sure not. We're sure this isn't the Book of Mormon, right?
No.
No, we're not sure. Crap.
Yeah, they're missing chapter. So yeah, well,
No,
like,
but there is a mention of Xenu.
oh, even better. Yes. We're going to switch our whole philosophy here. We're like, yeah, we're offering ourselves. That's why we're here. So yeah, I'm going to motion to Aldrich, like, come on, we've got room. Get in here.
Hell yeah.
Oogie.
Okay, so Aldrich, what are you going? So how are you going to?
I guess I'm prowling down the alley.
Okay, so because at this point, like now that they've cleared this and they are starting to move, and you're down at the end of the alley, this is quite a bit of space between you and the.
Okay, if I'm not going to make it, then I think my best bet is probably just a tail from a distance.
Well, what I was going to say is you've got a couple different options here. If you want to push yourself and make it a desperate attempt, in other words, you're basically attempting to run as stealthily as possible, then I would allow that. Alternatively, you can make two separate rolls to basically cover the distance.
I don't like either one of those options.
I mean, if you fail, it's just basically that the cart pulled away before you could get there.
Is there
right?
a way to support, like, if he can close the distance, like us reach out to help him in?
I would say that you guys would be doing that anyways.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I just didn't know if there was a way to roll to actually contribute.
I mean, if you want to jump out and like run alongside of him, I guess that
will make it worse. I'm just thinking to myself, if he fails his roll, does that mean he just doesn't catch up to the cart in time before it leaves?
I would say that would greatly depend on the roll. Like if he rolls a 6 or he rolls a crit, then obviously he's going to get there no problem. But if he rolls a 4 or a 5, it's likely going to cause the alerts to tick up. If he rolls a fail, then he's likely going to cause the alerts to tick up, and he's going to end up not making it onto the.
Now,
I
sidestep.
don't know.
Just a
I
quick
think
side.
my-
Well, this is because something in that's going on inside. So, just before you make your action, you said in there was it was crate or something was locked.
So
Lockbox.
Lockbox.
the lockbox, yeah, the lockbox is affixed into like.
Right. But would under fine tinkering tools a lockpick kit?
So if you want to do that with your tools, you could certainly set to starting to pick the lock.
Okay, so I would like to do that. That way, that is going on before his action.
Okay, so you are taking fine tinkering tools.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we'll tick that. You said you're running a normal load. Okay, so we will. So you're going to tinker. I'm guessing you're not going to push yourself.
Mm-mm.
Do you want a devil's bargain?
What would it be?
The devil's bargain would give you an additional die. Would be that you rattling around on the lock back there is going to. The carriage drivers will be like, "What is that sound?" And it will tick up the alert on the carriage drivers.
It's actually burglary gear instead of tinkering tools.
Oh, is that what it's
if you
considered?
click the little triangle next to, if you see little triangles, you can click them and it'll expand. And under burglary gear, it says a set of lockpicks, a small pry bar, vials of oil, the silent squeaky hinges, a coil of wire, and fishing hooks. Rogue stuff.
I do see that. Yeah, it's down here.
Oh, at the bottom. Okay.
So if you want to tick, we'll tick that instead.
Yeah. Do you guys think it's worth the risk? Because right now we're at 1. Another one puts us at half.
Well, I would just ask, even though I guess unless we're like having this conversation, like whispering in the back of the carriage.
Well, yeah, I would definitely be like, hey, if you can help him, I'm going to work on the lock. So,
I mean, I
your
don't know how I
response?
can help Aldrich get here any
Oh,
better, especially
nerds!
because I'm liable to fall out of the carriage and alert the entire neighborhood.
Rolls a 1. You fall out and break your neck on the
Oh,
curb.
Lord, no.
Level 3 harm.
But
Broken
the
neck.
whole idea is we're trying to Trojan horse ourselves into the offertory place. So are you just trying to pick the lock because you're hoping to get something? If nothing else, you're going to get what's inside this box or what?
Essentially. I mean, look at us. We rob things. There's a lock. Like, it's...
Yeah. Tonight we're out to get to the offertory and take over the
Okay.
offertory place.
I mean,
if we get alerted and we don't even make it to our original destination,
good
I
point.
think we should we're inside. We should hunker down, be quiet, and get to the offertory building.
Okay.
So the only thing I would be worried about is whether or not Aldrich can make it, or should just be on the safe side, just try to tail us.
Right, and then we can find a way to get him in later.
And what do you think, Aldrich?
Be sneaky about it.
I have unticked your burglary gear.
Okay. I mean, I was assuming we might need it when we're on the inside anyway, but when we get there.
Think I'm gonna have to run. Damn it.
You're going to
Yeah.
try for the run and jump?
You're going to run?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to.
Okay. So, are you going to push yourself?
I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
I put 2 on there.
Okay.
I only got 2 left.
Okay. So then, do you want a devil's bargain?
I don't know. Depends on the bargain.
So, I would say that as you're running up, the carriage drivers notice that there is a strange bird that is flying overhead, and it would tick up their alert. They wouldn't see you, but they would be suspicious about this weird bird that is seeming to.
How is a raven in a dark night? Okay.
I think the idea is he's just trying to come up with something that.
Oh,
works.
I know. It's just for me. I'm like,
If you've got a better idea, you put it out.
But it could
make
be,
him have a parrot. Then this is plausible.
Wait a minute. Here we go. Here. Let me do devil's advocate. So,
Okay.
it is a rainy night, so that would mean that the raven would probably have to get a little closer than normal to get this information. And the raven got us some amazing information. I'm still wondering how the raven managed to supply us with the route, but I'm not going to question that. So basically, these guys are out and about, and this raven followed them long enough or pecked their brain or whatever to get the route. Now suddenly they're clearing out the alley. The fat guy already said these other people did this. And then this raven appears again. At this point, maybe that does get their attention. And they're like, wait a minute.
Gotcha. No,
My grandma
that
told
makes
me
sense.
that ravens on a rainy night are a bad sign, or something.
See, he gets it.
So there you go.
See, there you go.
Sorry, I have no imagination.
Okay.
Gonna do
Yeah,
it.
take it.
He's gonna
Okay.
do it.
Sure. And you said this one's desperate?
So it will be desperate.
Nice XP gain.
Effect standard?
Yes. Now remember, you can change those positions if you really want to.
Hold on.
I mean, it seems pretty desperate to me.
Yeah.
You mean if I went down to wait. Isn't desperate like the highest it goes though?
I want to say there's one lower than desperate because I know there's one higher than.
So it'd be risky?
No, the other way. I guess no, there isn't anything less than desperate. Never mind.
Yeah, okay.
Besides, if you're desperate, you're going to at least, one thing you're going to get out of it is you're going to get XP out of it. So, I mean, if nothing else.
Uh-oh.
Oh, crit!
Damn.
Is that the first crit?
Yep, I believe that is the first crit. So, sir, on your character sheet,
Hell yeah.
mark the advancement for
Desperate action.
Yep.
Nice.
So, you guys like a shadow. You don't even see him running down the streets. He is like a ghost. He takes a flying leap off of the top of the roof where he is, ends up running down across the bridge, and without even the faintest hint of whisper, does a kind of parkour, hands on the back, feet through between his arms, and kind of slides right into the back of the carriage, with them none the wiser. Even the two people who are literally standing a couple feet from him don't even notice that he is prowled into the back.
We're like, when is Aldrich going to get in here? And Aldrich's like, over there, like, I'm already here, yo.
He's like doing like the Old Spice like lane, like
like, damn, dude.
Pull a Captain Morgan, get that leg up there.
Yeah.
I'm in a carriage.
I'm in a carriage.
Nice.
So, as you guys are now traveling down Cook's Road, this seems like it would be an appropriate time to
bio break.
take a bio break.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. Lurking.
I snuck in so well I disappeared completely.
Nice.
We're going to take a bio break. We'll be back at 10 after or a little before.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to start getting ready for work.
I know.
I won't be here when you come back.
We have to hurry.
All right.
Oh, you're done. Oh, we need you. That's why you said you slid in there so well you disappeared. Hey, don't worry. We'll play your character the rest of the session, and we'll be very careful with your stress and everything.
Either that or I just re-roll next week, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Aldrich died last week.
Oh no. We'll be right back, everybody. Stick with us. Take a quick bio break, and we'll see you on the other side. That audio going. Here we go. We should be good. All right, everybody, welcome back from the bio break. Welcome to the playground. If you're just joining us, I'm Pixie Phoenix. I'm joined tonight by Nox, my storyteller, and Skot, who plays Memphis, and I'm your Desi. We are in the middle of our session. We had to lose Zack, but our storyteller is going to fill us in on the how and why.
So, because we had to lose Zack in the middle of the field, as it were, the players will basically take over for him. He won't have any more role play, obviously, but in cases where they could use his skill set, they will basically still have access to him. And of course, during the downtime, they'll also have to do his downtime stuff for him.
Oh, I have plans.
He's dead. Okay, so the carriage is coming down Cook's Road now to the factory. So to give you the kind of the layout of the factory, since you started over here when you were looking, it is kind of a tall, squarish building with a vaulted roof on it. It would almost look just like any other warehouse that's right there on the river, except for the fact that the front doors have they're like giant barn doors on the very front when they want to open the front door to let the carriage in or to let shipments in, you're thinking. But on the barn doors, on each side of the very bottom of the barn doors, there is a very kind of ornate, particularly ornate for the building, set of double doors that's at the bottom for when you think maybe this is used for something else that's more of a more personal nature or more less of an intake. So the so as the carriage is coming up to the factory, what are you guys gonna do?
I mean, we're riding inside, I assume. Just waiting it out to see what happens.
Okay, so it pulls up in front of the giant double doors, and the carriage driver gets actually off of the carriage completely, and you hear some sort of discussion. You're not having a particularly good chance here to hear what's being heard as he's actually gone into the building. You're just kind of hearing things that they're talking from inside. When he comes out and gets back on the carriage, the doors open, and inside the factory there is there are like pews that have been stacked up on the side. They've basically been kind of pushed to the side and then stacked up on top of one another to make room for this carriage to basically pull right up to the altar. There is an altar at the front, and there are people who are standing behind the altar. There are also like two staircases that go up and do kind of like a wooden catwalk about midway up the building that given how dark it is in here, you can't really see what's up there. So the carriage pulls up and is fully in the factory now. So what are you guys going to do?
Do we know if the guards came in with it?
You definitely still hear their voices nearby.
So we know it's the guards are in there, the driver, some dude that let him in, and some other people at the altar. It's kind of what we're getting at here, or what
Mhm.
what's going on here. Um, so I'm assuming, since we're trying to expand our territory, that this is the case where we're going to have to find the dude who's in charge and convince him to work for us or remove him of his breathing capacity.
I mean, there are multiple different ways that you could think of to claim this. You could claim it by
Okay.
force. You could claim it by coercion. If you wanted to do blackmail, you could. I mean, there's any number of different ways you could
Oh,
accomplish
nerds!
Yeah,
laying
I've
a
got
claim
that
to this.
sway, so
Well, we're here. I mean, do we want to continue to try to be sneaky, or do we want to? I was kind of hoping the guards would maybe leave, but unless they're just going to shove this carriage to the side, they're going to unload it too. And then when they unload it, they'll find us. So, I mean, we can either continue to wait, or we can try to sneak out, or just walk out.
Or you could always do a flashback if you could think of one.
But flashback takes stress.
No, I mean, we wanted to Trojan horse our way in. So to me, if we want to continue to follow the Trojan horse metaphor, then we wait a little bit longer and see, do they, do the guards?
I want to wait it out and just make sure we're keeping an ear to these voices, see if we can make out what they're saying. Just kind of see what happens.
So there's no access from the carriage to the front part, just there's only access from the rear?
Now, there's no opening there, but it's a tarp. If you really wanted to go through it, you can cut your way through it.
Yeah. Okay. So we have options. So I say let's kind of wait just a little bit longer and see what happens.
Okay. So I need you to make a fortune roll.
Okay. You want to do it this time, Debbie?
Sure. Open that back up. Oh, fortune. Number of die. Notes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Zack gets all the good rolls. Oh, bitch.
So here is what happens. There is a moment of silence, and then the tarp on the back of the carriage gets thrown open.
Awesome.
And two of it is the carriage driver and one of the guards with billy clubs. And they see you. So that fully ticks the alert. So they know you're there now. And they are immediately like, what the fuck are you guys doing in there? And they are ready.
We pretend to be like making out, and we're like, what? What?
Nah, I'm going for the carriage driver.
Okay, we're on the attack.
So what are you doing?
I'm gonna go after him. I guess I would kind of like to just try to get him and maybe get a knife. What?
Is there? I know you said there was the lockbox, which can't be moved. Was there any other crates, boxes, debris?
Oh yeah,
anything?
there are several different crates in there that are full of these.
I got wreck. I'm gonna start picking that shit up and throwing it in their faces.
Okay, so you're going to.
He's got his knife, and I'm just.
Okay, so we'll take these as two separate actions. Memphis, what are you gonna do?
So basically, I wanted to try to, use my skirmish and just go for the carriage driver and try like to subdue him and get a hold of him and get my knife to his neck and like in a threatening way, like, okay, calm down, that kind of thing, but still take control.
Take him hostage.
So okay, so you're basically trying to wrestle with him to get him into a position where you can then put your knife to his neck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then I would say that's so you are in a position where you know that there's at least multiple other people who are nearby, if not standing right there. And you've gotten caught doing this. So I would say your position's probably desperate. So I would say you're so desperate and standard will be your so kind of to take this another step. So what are you're attempting to pin him down and pull the knife to his throat? What are you attempting to accomplish here?
Basically just to like use him sort of as a shield to myself and as a threat to everyone else, like calm down, like and basically stop violence from breaking out so that we can try to talk to these people. But I wanted to do it in an assertive way. Like, we're not just somebody that accidentally fell into the carriage. We're not a couple of drunks that are three drunks. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're going to so we'll take the initial action and say, because the attempting to convince the other people is going to come whether or not you're successful, obviously.
Yeah.
So we will take that you're attempting to brawl with the carriage driver. So that'll be
if that fails, I guess it's going to be a fight.
It's already kind of a fight.
I'm about to say it's gonna be a fight.
Okay, so that's going to be your skirmish. Again, position's going to be desperate.
Standard?
Yeah, standard effect.
Oh, and I don't do bonus die. It knows the number, it knows the dots that I have on the sheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Unless you want to push yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get a 4. Okay, so we're gonna hold on to that for just a second. Desi, what are you gonna do?
The guy with the billy club, I want to try to at least incapacitate him, take him out.
Okay, so you're basically just going to like attempt to like grab one of these crates full of books and just like heave it at him, or like what are you? So how are you going to attempt to incapacitate him?
Yeah, because just hauling a book at a time or small, whatever, I might not hit with great enough force to knock him on his ass. So yeah, just throw a crate in his face.
Okay, so that's gonna be. I'm assuming that's gonna be your wreck.
Wreck it. It's gonna wreck it.
Are you going to push yourself for an additional die?
I'm not doing anything right now that's adding to my stress if I cannot absolutely help it. If it's not my death rattle, we're not.
Okay, the other question I have is, did you want to take a devil's bargain?
That would still take stress, right?
No.
The bargain's in place of the stress. Oh, what would that be?
So the obvious one would be that you throwing a giant box of these Bibles at these people who are here is probably going to negatively affect their perception of you, no matter what. Most religious people don't tend to take a very kindly tack to having their Bible thrown on the ground or used as a weapon.
Okay.
A litter weapon. So
unless they do it.
Okay. Okay. So new scenario.
Okay.
I reach out close enough to grab him by his shirt, and I'm gonna just try to face plant him into the crate that's already inside.
Okay, so you're just gonna basically attempt to get into a physical fight with him. You're not even attempting to be nice about it. You're just attempting to be like smash him into something.
Well, otherwise he's got to stick.
I mean,
I'm,
you have your.
and we've
you have
already got my buddy here with a knife to another guy's throat. So
I was gonna say you also have your load. You could look into your magical bag of holding and pull out something as well.
Shoot him in the face. Pistol.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Or do you have any kind of, even though now I guess I'm out of the carrots, I should have thought about this before, but we need some like smoke bombs or something. That would have been funny.
Yeah, I'll have a pistol.
Okay, so you're going to. So then, what are you going to do with the pistol?
More of a threat, not going to fire in his face, but if he's got him with a knife, then I can come up out of the carriage behind Memphis, the gun right in Billy Club's face, and be like, "Please step back, sir."
Okay, so if you're going to do that, that to me sounds like you're attempting to command them to do something.
Wouldn't be sway?
No, because sway is sway someone with charm, logic, deception, disguise.
But
or
I'm
bluff.
bluffing with the gun.
Are you're not ready to pull the trigger?
No, not necessarily. We're trying to at least accomplish something here. If it was just a smash and grab, we'd blow all their heads off and walk away.
Okay.
So you are attempting to. So what you're actually attempting to do is bluff that you're going to shoot him.
Yes.
You don't actually have the intent to shoot.
Not yet. No, not until he takes action on me.
I have the intent to shoot, but
Okay, so then I would say that's going to be risky, but I'm also going to say that your effect is likely to be limited.
I get that, but I do have 2 points, so.
So okay.
Because I have no consort, so there's no way I could pull that off.
You can't. So if you ever have no points in something, you roll. What ends up happening is it rolls 2 dice and it takes the lowest one, and you can't crit.
So with the theoretically, sway, if I roll the 2 I have,
if you roll the 2 with sway, if you roll the 2 you take the highest one. If you decide to roll command, you're rolling the same roll. You just take the lowest of the 2.
No, I'll stick with my sway. I'll stick with my sway.
Okay, so then it's going to be
then risky.
Yes, I would say risky, but again, effect is limited.
Okay. Everybody, cross your fingers. Prayer. Not gonna look. No bonus die, huh?
No bonus die.
Okay. Not gonna look.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay. So the other question that I have is, what is Aldrich doing?
He's probably just backing up the play with his own gun. I mean, if he sees us jumping for it to try to control the situation and Desi pulls a gun, he probably just levels his rifle as well, just to kind of add to the threat, like everybody relax.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're going to say that he has a.
Oh, he said earlier when he was at the end of that alley that he went back there to set up with his rifle in case he needed to back us up. So I assume he just carried a rifle.
Okay, so yeah, then no, he does have the rifle on there ticked. So
where are his points in command or sway?
Neither.
I mean, can he just be like a maybe add to the effect or something?
He could. So he could theoretically. He's got 2 points in rec. So he could back you up with that, or if you're looking again to go with the bluff idea that you did, Desi, he could roll the sway, and again he'd be rolling the 2 and taking the lowest.
Yeah, I kind of feel like since he's not here and we're sort of using him as a NPC, he's just kind of going along. So I would imagine
that's what I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of got startled by the tarp being removed, and then he sees me jump out and hold a knife to the guy's neck. He sees Desi pull her gun, so he probably just reacts and pulls his rifle just to kind of help.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't imagine it's, like I said, it could just be to extend the effect or something. But yeah, if we just want to do the sway thing, I mean, whatever.
Okay, so then Ski limited. All right.
3. So basically nothing.
So here is what happens. Memphis, they throw that tarp back, and you take a running leap and just spear this guy right onto the ground, trying to jockey for control with him. Now, you manage to get control and get above him, and you've got your knife in your hand. But while you have pulled your knife out to try to get at him, he has seen what you've done, and he is attempting to go for a knife of his own. So he's basically seeing your action here as an escalation.
Mhm.
So, Desi. So here's what ends up happening with you and Aldrich. Tarp comes back. Memphis sacks this guy. You pull a pistol on this guy, and he backs up. When he sees your pistol, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" But when he sees Aldrich with the rifle, particularly at that kind of close range, he takes his opportunity with his billy club, and he smacks the barrel of Aldrich's rifle. And Aldrich loses the gun completely. It just tumbles right out of his hands.
At that point, I stick it directly in his face. And I say, we're all going to calm the fuck down now, aren't we?
So at this point, you have managed to, you definitely have the advantage on him here. But Aldrich at this point he's been disarmed.
Well, he's still behind me at this point. So I'm at least human shield.
So that, is that where this kind of turn ends? Is that what we're
Yeah,
starting?
that's kind of
Okay.
that's kind of where the situation is. So Memphis, what is your next action? You're now jockeying for control. This has gone from a wrestling match now into a knife fight. So what are you gonna do?
Oh, he did pull his knife?
He is definitely trying to get his knife out.
And this is the driver, so yeah, I think it's just time to go ahead and try to slit his throat.
All right, so
Are they going to appreciate us doing that here, though? That was kind of why I avoided throwing the Bibles. I mean, we still want a little bit of an in at some point.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to think of, do I really have time to say something to him like, just relax or something? I feel like it's past that. We're past that point. And if I try to back off and say, "Hey, man, just relax," and I fail, he's just probably going to knife me.
And there's also something to be said, for making an example of somebody.
Exactly. We're not in here
true.
to play nice. We're here to take over.
That's true.
I'm not interested in trying to charm them. I'm interested in saying, now we're in charge, and if you don't like it, we'll just kill you, and we'll find other people driving it. It doesn't take a lot of skill. So yeah. So my idea was to jump him and hold my knife to his throat to control him. He's pulling his own knife, so I'm just going to basically stab him in the neck and drag it across.
So you didn't get that full of it. You basically got control over top of him, so you managed to get over him with your knife.
Okay.
But you don't have full control over the situation like that. So
well, I still can try to stab him. I'm an experienced military guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so if you are just basically gonna go straight for his throat with the knife.
Yes.
Okay, so then I'm guessing
whatever other kill shots available, heart, throat, whatever.
Okay, so you're just attempting just to start shanking him. You're not really trying to be all that precise about it. You're just trying to find a porthole or make
I'm
a
trying
porthole.
to use my experience in fighting to use my knife to end him very quickly.
Like
Okay,
major
so-
organs,
Yeah, I'm not going for
arteries.
his arm. I'm going for his neck or his heart, whichever is exposed enough.
Okay, so then roll that's going to be your skirmish again.
And you know what? I can do a stress to push myself.
You can indeed push yourself.
This sounds like a stressful situation. Is this risky now? What are we doing?
I would say you're in a knife fight, so I would say risky. Actually, I would say because you're above, I would say controlled.
Okay, thank you. Standard, limited, just for him.
I would say standard.
Okay.
Now again, you can push that. You can if you you can change that and say, I will move that to risky to go for the next hot level of effect, which would be extreme.
The
I
next.
don't know if you're attempting to make a big scene here or not.
No, I just want to finish him off quick.
Okay, then controlled and standard,
And I get one bonus die.
and you get one bonus die.
There's a 6.
There it is.
First
Okay.
one. I didn't need the extra stuff.
Okay, so
What you doing?
so Desi,
Yes.
what are you doing? This guy is he's disarmed Aldrich, but you have your gun straight in his face. What are you doing?
I tell him to tell his boy to back the fuck off.
Okay, so
Nice.
so you're telling him to tell the other crew
Well,
members there
essentially,
that they need-
like, you all need to calm the fuck down, and you need to get your boy out of our face. We can either talk this through, or we can shoot this out.
While I'm stabbing the dude.
okay, so that sounds to me like that's command.
Oh.
Like you're attempting to command them to do something.
Okay, hold on. Let me reevaluate this, because there's got to be some way I can manipulate this in this way.
Would you guys please just back off for a second so we don't have to kill anyone
Is
else?
that charmings? That fall under charming. You know what? Yep. Okay. I am going to rely on logic and explain to him that my friend here has already taken pretty good care of your friend. And so unless you and your other friends want to end up like that friend, maybe you'll back off.
Okay, I'm going to say that is a desperate position to take, and the effect is likely limited.
Oh.
Hey, XP. Desperate rolls give you an XP.
That
All
is true.
right.
Do it. Do it. Don't worry if it fails. I got your back. I'll just stab him.
So, sway. You said it's risky?
Limited.
What do
Desperate. Limited.
Desperate, limited. Okay.
Desperate and limited.
No bonus die.
Shite.
Okay. So.
It's so bad.
It's
so bad.
So, what is Aldrich going to do here?
I mean, so right now it's just still those two guys at the caravan. The other guys haven't joined yet.
Yeah, I would say this is all taking place in a reasonably small amount of time here. Like this is not over like a couple minutes here. This is under 30 seconds.
Yeah, very quick. I would say that Aldrich is probably going to. I mean, wouldn't he go for to try to collect his rifle?
Okay, so you think that he would like try to basically go for his gun again and try to?
I mean, is it closer when the guy knocked it out of his hand? Did he knock it like 30 meters away or what?
I mean, Aldrich was still in the car.
No, he was in the carriage. When he knocked it, he did a downward swipe, so it just clattered out of his hands.
At his feet.
Pick it back up.
So what do you think he would do? He'd attempt to go for it to do what?
Same thing. I think
Just
he
to
would
grab it and dodge out.
continue to back what Desi's trying to do.
Two guns are better than one.
Okay.
We're trying to
So
basically control the situation here in a very violent way. Unless he would have some other gear that might do
okay. So then
something. And we'll just pick up the rifle.
he has.
I don't want to overdo it because it's not our
Okay. So
character.
he's
Just say gonna pick up the rifle back up and basically again, level at the guy and just basically try to get the situation under control.
okay. So then he's going to. We'll say that he attempts to command to
Yeah, whatever. He probably has
get the gun and command the guy.
Does he have any points of command or sway?
No. Nope.
It doesn't really make a
I think
difference.
he took consort, but
Yeah, command. So just like freeze, sucker.
he's just gonna Leroy Jenkins this thing, jump out the back of the cart.
I think I already did that. 3 and 3. So which do we pick?
So okay, so we're gonna kind of go from top to bottom, or from bottom to top here. So Aldrich kind of scrambles to try to get the gun to try to do this, but he can't. He's complete butterfingers here. He's just not getting his hands on the rifle.
He used all his finesse earlier to get into the wagon.
Used all his points.
When you reiterate, you move closer, you push the gun into this guy's face. He responds by basically knocking the gun away and just straight headbutting you, like as hard as he possibly can. So you take a level 1 harm, broken nose. And it hurts. Like
I spit blood back in his face.
I was gonna say, like when he.
I don't even react. I just look him straight in the eyes. I just spit his face.
When he headbutts you, there is you see this balding, greasy head, like moving super quick towards your face, like an incoming moon. And when it smacks you in the nose, like you hear the crunch of cartilage. And it is like you can smell and taste. It's just nothing but blood. In another game, you might have to take hunger check.
See, I'm going to do this. I want to do a quick flashback and say that we have this occult power that when we taste our own blood, it makes us super strong. So does that work?
Meanwhile, Memphis, you are on the ground next to this dude, and he's going for his knife, and you basically just kind of use your hips and your knees and pin his arm. With his arm pinned, he's kind of chicken winged out. There's no way that he can stop you when you just take that knife and just right into his chest. He gasps, gurgles, and it's done. He's over. So at this point now, you're starting to hear more people who are starting to come. The skirmish has caught other people's attention here. So what are you guys going to do now?
I will, I guess. So the way let me see if I'm imagining this correctly. So I leapt out of the wagon, collided with the driver, and we went on the ground, and then I just basically stabbed him through the heart, and he's dead now.
Yep.
Or he's dying, whatever.
He's dead.
The only other guy that was there who would have been right at the side of the wagon engaged Desi and headbutted her. So that would mean, is that guy's back to me?
I wouldn't say his back is to you. He's probably side to you.
Right. Well, I'm going to try to introduce my knife to him.
So you're basically going to try to come up from the ground where you are,
Mhm.
and so what are you going for? Are you going to try to like just shank him from behind in the heart? You're going to go for his tendons and like
I'm gonna try to distract him with the spit in the blood, like directly in his eyes. If that is in any way a help.
Yeah, probably if in order for that to actually mechanically work would require you to help me, which means taking stress, I would imagine. So just let me
Is
let me
it
try to
just
do it.
one?
it
Let
is
me
just one.
Okay.
well, let's see. Let's see. So since he's kind of to the side of me,
Hmm.
um, you know, I could have more weapons on me, couldn't
You could indeed have more weapons. You only have,
I mean, I just put a blade, a knife.
yeah, you've only put a blade on
I would
there.
imagine that with a military background, I also carry a pistol.
Actually, would there be a way to maneuver that to where it's not a help? It falls under my rec, which is to create distractions and chaos.
I wouldn't say no to it.
So
And
what would that do? She does that first. If she succeeds, it just makes my role easier.
It would increase the effect, sure.
Well, all right.
Okay,
Let's.
here is the issue for that though.
okay.
Just to point it out, Desi, because you've suffered the broken nose, you have by default less effect.
I mean, it's better to do something than nothing.
So okay, so you are going to so you guys are basically Desi, you're gonna go first this time. So what are
Okey-doke.
you? So then what are you gonna do? So tell me exactly what you're going to do,
Uh,
or what you are attempting to accomplish.
actually,
Oh,
in my what's in this? Oh, there's no description. I'm wondering if in my bandolier of alchemicals, if I would have some kind of acid or something I could throw in his face.
I mean, you still have a loaded. Oh wait, did you drop your gun?
Didn't drop the gun.
Just shoot him in the face.
I was under the impression that he when he put me down that okay, I didn't
No,
know I still had my gun.
No, he just swept your arm away from you.
Oh,
You and
okay, it
headbutted.
didn't like go.
So
Okay.
So I have a question. Since there's not a firearm skill, uh, since Desi has more in rec, if she tries to use her gun, is she forced to roll like a stat she's not very good at, like skirmish or finesse?
so there's a couple different ways that you could interpret that. So the one the um what the book says is that hunt is usually your firearms if you're firing at range. So
Hmm.
if you're like across a room or something like that,
Hmm.
you're you're hunting something. You're attempting to acquire a target. At close range, it says to use skirmish.
Hmm.
So basically, you're attempting to either use it as a blunt weapon,
Mm,
either hit them with it, or attempting to basically use the lack of distance so you don't have to aim. You're just trying to get the shot in. I would say wreck is probably when you don't care so much about being accurate, or you're just trying to get the gunshot off.
okay. Because
So it's kind of
otherwise, I saw Prowl says ambush with close violence, but it's not
uh,
technically ambush because I'm right in front of him.
yeah. I would say there's no chance that you're ambushing somebody who's already
Yeah.
broken your
So,
nose.
but
Okay,
wreck,
before you
yeah.
do it, just say, "Hey, what's that behind you?" and see if he looks away.
No, I can be like, you're gonna really like that knife that my friend's got there,
Yeah, but
and
so
that should
really,
hopefully make him look down.
I mean, basically, what I was getting at with that question was based on what I'm interpreting from the mechanics that, like someone like Dez who has a couple points in rec, that really becomes your one. Okay, well then maybe not. You
Well,
kind of have to play your fighting style to your attributes. It seems like it's not
mm-hmm,
just like there's no
mm-hmm,
real firearm skill. At
And
least
mm-mm.
in a normal circumstance, you be when you don't have so much stress, you can push yourself for a die in anything.
yeah. I got you. Okay, all right, cool. All right, yeah. So yeah, it might be better for you to pull out a vial of acid and throw it in his face if that counts as rec or however you want to do it.
I would say yeah. So bandolier of chemicals. Looking just real quick, looking at standard items. When you employ an alchemical or bomb from bandolier, choose one from the list at right. There are, so it's on 71 of the book. There's there's eye blind poison, there's fire oil, there's straight grenade.
Can you have them all? One of each?
There's this you can choose there's 3 on the bandolier, so you can choose, it's whatever you want them to be. So alkahest, binding oil, drift oil, drown powder.
Let's do the blinding mist and a grenade.
Holy shit! Get the grenade.
Last resort.
Hang the grenade on. Hang on to the grenade for the other guys.
Well, no. So the grenade is one thing. Is its own. Is a thing. The drown or the blinding mist. You mean binding oil?
No, I thought you said something that was.
Yeah, I thought I heard a
mist.
blinding thing too. What were the choices again for the bandolier?
So from the top to bottom, alkahest, binding oil, drift oil, drown powder, eye blind poison, fire oil, grenade,
Must have been the
quicksilver.
eye blind poison then.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're basically gonna smash him in the face with this poison.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not gonna take my gun seriously. I gotta do something else.
Okay, so you're going to use. So who's going first? Are you going first this time, or is Memphis going first this time?
Oh, she's gonna go first, I guess,
Right.
to possibly give me an edge if I need to knife the guy.
Yep.
Okay, so that's going to be your wreck. I'll say it's risky, and we'll say because you have the less effect from your that's limited. Now again, you could increase your effect at the cost of making your position desperate.
Do it. You get XP.
Sure.
Okay.
Where's this?
For that XP. So every time we do it,
I go back. Hold on.
every time we do a desperate roll, we get XP.
Up to twice up to twice.
Up to twice in a session, or up to twice per
player.
skill.
Is from what I read in the book, it's twice per session.
Okay, so that keeps people from just doing desperate stuff all the time to rack up tons of XP.
And have we already done our 2?
No, it's per.
This would be your second one.
Okay, so desperate, limited, no bonus.
No, if you're doing desperate, it's it'd be standard.
Oh.
Well, she got
because you're trading the position for the effect.
Oh.
Can we just say that it was standard? I mean, that's just
yeah, sure. So here is the end result of that. Memphis, let's do your roll, Memphis.
Okay. So at the same time, I'm gonna basically just try to finish this guy off, but I'm gonna stick with my knife.
Okay, so you're just gonna try to shank him and try to
like hit him in the kidney or wherever, because I'm sure I know where to hit something.
Lower spine.
So are you attempting to kill him, or are you attempting to just really badly wound him?
No, I think another body would probably help our bargaining position, so I'm going to try to kill him.
Okay. So then
skirmish, risky, or am I controlled now?
I would say you're risky. But I would also say, so your effect is likely to be combined with what she did. I would say your effect is likely to be great.
Nice. Do I get extra dice for what she did, or it just affects the?
No, it just affects
the effect. So, no bonus die.
Now you can push yourself.
Yeah, I could, but I've got 4. Yeah, let's do it.
I was also going to say, or you could take a devil's bargain.
I'm loving the stress of the fight. I'm all into it.
Okay.
6.
So here is what happens. Desi, you, through the blinding pain and the blood in your nose and mouth, snatch a vial out of your bandolier and just overhand smash this dude right in the face. The effect is the glass of the vial, when it shatters, it doesn't just like crack open and the dust goes. Like, you hit him so hard in the face with this that it's like a cloud. It's like, and just overwhelms his face. The downside of that being is that you can hear behind the carriage somebody go, "What the fuck?" as they see the plume of dust. He's like, "Ah, my eyes." Memphis, you could take complete advantage of this. You see him, he's like swatting at his face. He's completely unprepared. You just come right up behind him. The knife goes right through the side of the neck, just right out the other side. And when you pop it out, there is a gout of blood that just splatters across the
So metal.
ground. And he drops to the ground.
Nice.
So you have effectively dispatched 2 of the people who are there in particularly brutal fashion. But you definitely can tell that after Desi's cloud, that there are others coming. So what are you guys going to do now?
Is it possible to tell, like, okay,
Here's the other thing I was going to say. When you guys are thinking about what you're going to do now, what are you going to have Aldrich do as well?
Oh yeah,
This one I have him get his ass out of the carriage. And
Pick
we
up
both got our
and run.
firearms. Yeah, we both got our
Uh,
firearms.
I mean, the idea is to, we don't have to not kill any more people. So try to sort of now get the situation under control. What we've done is intimidated some people. And I want to see, is it possible to tell who else is in there that is not one of the original guards?
So you are trying to make so basically you're trying to turn around and look at the scene and see who else is there that you don't recognize from the original guards, correct?
Yeah, but now that I think about it, that may not be the best move right at this point. I think even though I only have one in command, now's the time to try to get these people to chill.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
So, I mean, is it possible to? Well, here's what I'm thinking. That now I'm going to basically kind of point my bloody knife in the direction of the guys and pull my pistol and basically say, "Back off, or you're next."
So are you so just to clarify, so you're just attempting to get them to give you some space?
Well, I want them to stand down. I guess, oh, you know what? Because I used to be military, I will basically do it something like that, like stand down or you're next.
Okay. So that would definitely be a command. You can't push yourself anymore without breaking into trauma. So do you want to take a devil's bargain to give yourself an additional die?
There's no way to say that because of what we just did recently that it has any beneficial effect toward my roll.
I mean, we can say that would give you increased effect.
Okay.
Like, you're now in a position where you've got increased effect, but if you're looking for an additional die,
It would need to be a devil's bargain.
mm-hmm.
Well, what would the devil's bargain be? You have anything in mind?
So devil's bargain, I would say, at this point, with the violence and the sounds of the scuffle and the sound of the breaking bottle and everything like that, the lost, the people who are supposed to be patrolling the area, that would probably tick up twice. Like now they would know something's going on here. They would have heard the scuffle.
Yeah, but I think at this point, if we get the situation under control, that's going to be very much in our favor. So I think I will take that devil's bargain.
Okay, we'll tick that up twice.
So basically, I need to do a command. What was the position?
I would say the position is going to be
Fortune roll?
no. I would say that this is so you know that there are more of them than there are of you. So I would say this is desperate. You're pointing to the bodies and you're attempting to basically be like, I'm going to make more bodies.
But I'm not bluffing. And I do have a military background. I mean, to me, I'm just like, hey, this is just the way it is. Okay, and then the effect was going to be great because of what we had just done.
Yeah, I would say the effect here is going to be great. Either you're going to make these guys stand down with what you've done, or they're going to come at you. This is one of those things where
yeah. Basically, that's what I'm expecting as well. Oh!
Oh! So,
do I get XP for that?
Memphis is whooping ass.
So
not even taking names, just whooping all that ass.
So you wipe your blade off on your pants and look at them and be like, stand down or I'm adding to the body count. And collectively, they all look at these people who are on the ground and they look kind of at the situation and see that, there's one guy who's got a face full of poison and he's bleeding gorily out of his neck. The other guy is on the ground, in a pool of his own blood from where you stabbed him in the heart. These guys, this is one of those things where they're like, this is, this isn't even my money. So, yeah, they all stand down.
Nice, Rudy.
And look, when what do you call it? Like a cameo from Persephone.
Yeah.
When the group of the lost run up, and there's like 6 or 7 of them, and they're all armed with, some of them have hammers, some of them have.
Where did they come from?
You alerted them.
They were patrolling. So when they walk up and they're like, "What's going on?"
I thought it was just getting closer to them being alerted. It hasn't filled up the whole thing yet.
Well, here, just let me finish.
Okay, yeah, I'm just curious how the mechanic works, but yeah, please.
So they run up and they're like, "What's going on?" And they're looking at the bodies on the ground, and then the other guys who are behind the carriage are like, "Nothing to see here. Everything's cool." And the crew of Lost kind of look at one another and are kind of like, okay. And they shuffle off.
Okay.
So at this point, you have effectively taken the effectory.
Oh, nice.
Like nobody else in there. Nobody is.
They're like, we ain't fucking with these crazy fools.
Yeah, they're like, we're done.
And so like now you work for us.
So yeah.
We have acquired it now.
Yes. So nice. You have indeed acquired the
offertory or whatever it's called.
Yep, the offertory.
Nice.
I want to double check something really quick.
And I'm gonna grab one of their books and go, I'm gonna read this now.
Where is the...
Oh, they closed the door. 1 second, guys.
Claim 46. Each piece of turf that you claim represents abstracted support for the crew. Turf is marked on your rep tracker.
Okay. Somebody get
So-
Zack.
You have 1 piece of turf. Oh, no, you did not. That was not what I wanted.
No, go ahead. It's okay. And it raises up our, okay, nice.
Wait, what is that? That is so fucked up. Like, it won't allow. Okay, that's the first thing that I've seen so far in this that does not work the way it's supposed to, but whatever. Oh, that's how that works. Never mind. I figured it out.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so here is how, so you know. When you have a piece of turf, so each rep that you have to fill this entire thing in order to move up a tier. But each piece of turf you has reduces the amount of rep you need.
Ah, so basically acquiring that just lowered the amount we need to go up a tier by half.
Well,
reading that right?
it lowered it by 1. So
Oh,
you need 12 pieces. You need 12 rep to go up. You need to fill this entire bar.
yeah, I just
So-
guess I misunderstood like the ones that have like the gray as opposed to the ones that have the black.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of a button on top. I don't know why that's done like that, but
Okay.
so now you've got so 1 piece of turf. So you have, so now you only need a little bit more rep to move up in the world.
Right. So basically, this was a good. So I guess we're kind of wrapping up now for this activity. Do we get to take anything out of the offertory wagon?
So for the score here, as I get to it, your payoff, you get 2 rep.
Okay, cool.
And you also get 4 coin.
Nice. And did we get to meet the guy that supposedly is in charge of this little barn, church, warehouse thing?
There is not anybody who really. So when you go through the group of people there, there's no one who's in charge per se. They're
Okay.
kind of like, these group of people, this other cult that is running out of here, the throat of judgment. They basically bought this place and they're trying to start something here. So, but if you guys are taking it over, you guys, it's yours.
Nice. Cool.
So you get 4 coin.
Nice. Let's throw some up to who's the people that we pay off?
The lost are the ones that you're paying off.
Oh yeah. We should give them part of this so they don't get pissed off at us.
So
what are the choices?
so here are the things that you can do. You can pay them 1 coin to basically maintain your status with them. You could theoretically pay them more than 1 coin to increase your rep with them, or you can pay them nothing, but that starts a clock for them being pissed at you.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to at least pay them the 1. So what
Okay.
happens if our rep increases with them?
So if when your rep increases with them, then that becomes the point where you can start asking them to help you. Like if your rep with somebody increases to like at like rep 1, which is where you guys basically are, then they know about you, you know about them, and there's kind of a we're not going to fuck with each other agreement. At rep 2, you guys can start asking each other for help. And basically at rep 3, that's when you guys are kind of considered allies. And there's an expectation that if somebody's trying to interfere with your business, then they'll come in and help you. But on the flip side of that, if somebody's trying to interfere with their business, there's an expectation you're going to go help them.
Right. Well, does it take a time to increase the rep, or does it like if we give them 2 coins, we go up in rep or what?
It does indeed take time.
Okay, I got you. So, what do you think, Pixie? You think we should give them 2 and increase our rep, or just give them 1?
Now keep in mind you can also use, so you've got 2 coin in your
Oh,
stash right now.
well, let me ask this. What are we going to be using coin for?
So coin gets used for all sorts of stuff. Um, you can spend 1 coin to get additional activity during downtime.
Oh,
Spend 1 coin to increase the result level of a downtime activity roll.
mm-hmm. And there he goes.
Yeah, I was thinking it was on my end, so I was checking everything, make sure everything was okay.
So we already had 2 coin. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's cool to have coin, but I'm thinking we might want to try to raise our rep a little bit
No,
too.
definitely. I think
So
it's in the best interest this early on.
when he comes back, oh, and it looks like our vault is limited anyway. I don't know if we even have
You
room
guys
for.
disappeared, so I assumed you guys.
Oh yeah, we saw you disappear. So, we already have 2 coin and we just got 4. Do we only have room for 4 coin in our stronghold or whatever you want to call it?
Yes, you have to. If you want to carry more coin, you have to upgrade to a vault.
So basically, I think what we're going to do, we were discussing it while you were gone, is we'll go ahead and push 2 up so we get an extra rep with the lost, and we'll just drop the other 2 into our vault. So our vault is full.
Okay, so your vault is so now you guys. So something to you guys can also distribute the coin amongst yourselves.
Okay.
So for
Okay.
instance, you don't have to, like, you guys could do, like, put 2 coin or put 1 coin in the vault, and then give each of the characters a coin. So
Yeah.
then you guys could do additional stuff.
Okay. I think for now we're just going to go with that, just to kind of keep on good terms with the lost, especially
Okay.
because we almost tangled with them tonight anyway. And I think they were problematic last session as well, weren't they? So let's get in good with them so they'll leave us alone in the future.
Okay. Where's the faction thing on here? I know I've seen it on here somewhere.
There's a separate character for faction, but it doesn't have anything on it.
Oh, then that would be where it is.
We can have extra contacts from our crew. Sorry, you're looking at something. I just noticed this on the crew sheet.
I saw that earlier. Like, ooh.
We'll have to look into how we expand that as well. Boy, that turned out, we got lucky considering how risky that whole thing went.
Oh yeah, no, it was that fantastic roll right there.
Yeah, at the end, boy, that was the perfect time for that.
So, with that, actually, I'm going to leave that red dot there. I'm actually going to change it to be the same color as your outline here, so you know where your effector is.
Cool.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
So you got your payoff. Your heat goes up by 2.
Okie dokie.
Can
Okay.
you remind me again how we clear heat?
Downtime.
Yeah.
Okay, it just automatically. Okay, cool.
No, we can choose to reduce it during our downtime activities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is when the entanglements come. So, somebody roll a fortune roll.
I
You
guess it's
roll,
fine.
dude. I've been
All right. A
Nope.
fortune roll.
I suck tonight.
Let's see. Where are we? Roll fortune. And number of dice is 0 or 1. Ooh. I'll just keep
You know I'm clipping both of these.
rolling.
I'm clipping both of those rolls.
666.
You'd be going up on my TikTok.
Nice.
So, 1 second. Now I'm looking.
Okay.
I'm looking at these, and the problem, and that one doesn't make any sense for the current situation.
So this isn't like a 6 is great and 1 is bad. This is just what the result's going to be.
Yeah. There's a table.
Oh, I see. Well, is there something else that makes more sense? You just want to choose it?
I'm going to go with something else. So, when you happen to head back to your grotto, there is, outside of the grotto, there is a ghost who looks somewhat familiar.
Was it the carriage driver?
Yeah.
No, are you serious? No. Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Hi, guy. What's up?
And he is standing in front of your grotto and wailing.
So we have to deal with him.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Persephone? So, I mean, is that something we had to deal with now, or is that just like a thing we're going to have to deal with in the future?
It's something you need to deal with at some point.
Okay.
Because at this point now, because there's somebody there who's basically making noise in front of your lair.
So we're going to have to exercise him or satisfy him or get rid of him or something.
Yep.
So we're going to call the Ghostbuster.
So, what's funny, because you have a whisper on your crew. Just need to get them to show up.
We just need to get her here.
So maybe we save that for
time
her
for downtime.
Next. Yeah, maybe we save that for her next.
Can I ask a real quick question? I'm just looking at the crew sheet, and we actually have crew advancement, the bottom left.
Mm-hmm.
And it says bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. Does that count for what we just did with the money? Or is that something different?
I would definitely give XP for that.
Sweet.
Yeah, I would definitely award an XP for crew advancement there.
So when that fills up, is that how we get these special abilities or what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yes, indeed.
Nice.
Well, because I have Physiker, everyone in our crew gets a +1 die to their healing treatment rolls.
So here is my
bloody nose.
Okay, so here is the question. What are the 2 downtime things that you guys are going to do?
Actually, I'm not sure if this counts as downtime, but did our key would I have, because we had the sketching of the key, would I be able to tell if the key fits into the lockbox?
You mean in the carriage?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't need to do that. You own it now. Like, that's yours.
So I can just pick it if I wanted to. Okay, I just was wondering if the key.
No, that's where the money came from.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and the
Gotcha.
guy, he opened it for us and said, "Here you go." So now
Okay, I zoned out. Sorry.
we're good.
Okay. So I've still got roll out.
We both have a bunch of stress. I know I'm gonna have to establish a new vice den.
So healing counts as an action, right?
Mm-hmm. So here are the things that you can do with your downtime. You can acquire an asset. You can engage in a long-term project. You can recover, which is healing. Reduce heat. You can train. You can indulge a vice.
And the vice is what pulls the stress down.
Yep. And I usually indulge vice and try to reduce the heat since you've got a project, but I'm not sure what it's going to take for me to find a new vice.
It's a
den.
project.
Oh, so I basically it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm gonna have to take down the stress and heal. So I'm gonna have to put off the book for one more.
Okay, so Desi, so you are going to so you're going to reduce your stress, and you want to heal because you've only got level 1 harm, so it's not a particularly big deal to
Walk around with a bloody, busted face.
uh,
Would it heal over time, or is she gonna eventually gonna have to use some time to heal it? Or
eventually you will have to heal it.
I really want to get that book done by the next session.
Well, I mean, you can reduce your stress and finish your project, and you can heal next time, or you
Yeah.
can reduce your stress and heal and finish it next time. Either way.
Or you could. So here's the other thing about that. You could. So you've got a couple of things that you probably want to, just looking at everything that's going on in your for your characters and your crew. And keep in mind, you also have to handle Aldrich's downtime as well.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, okay.
So for the crew, your heat is not unmanageable. I don't think it's
Yeah,
midway.
I reduced it a lot last time. I think.
Yeah, the heat was down to 2 or 3, and then because of tonight, it's back up to 2. So your heat is not,
4, 4, 5.
because it's down to 3, and tonight's score up.
Oh, it was down to 3, and we added 2 more, so now we're at a 5.
Right.
Eh.
So that's, as long as you skirt the law, you guys could probably hold off on doing anything about your heat.
Yeah, especially because if it got even worse next time, then we could all just reduce heat and it'll drop back down.
Right.
So I wouldn't be too concerned with that right now either.
So you could indulge your vice. You can acquire an asset, work on your long-term project, recover your wound. You could train. You could add an additional XP to something.
Well, I need to find a vice den because stress is a constant concern.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Okay, so then.
So now I have a project. Can I spend both of my downtime activities on project? Because I need to find one of these places like super fast.
So you can't. So here are some things that can be done for downtime. If you incorporate another player, if you're aided by a contact or by another crewmate, that will allow you to get an additional die. Or you can spend a coin to get an additional.
Well, didn't we say that Aldrich's helping you?
Well, I forgot. We roll for our projects, right?
Right.
It's not like just you say I'm working on the project and it just fills up one. So what's my project look like? How many pies do I need to fill in before I find a new vice den?
I would say 4. Like, it's not going to be a terribly huge project to go find one, but it's going to take you a minute.
And Aldred also has stress, doesn't he? Or did he come out pretty stress-free this time?
He's on
Oh,
par
that's
with
right.
Desi.
Because you guys didn't downtime last session. So Aldred needs to at least reduce his stress, and then I guess his second activity could be maybe helping me on my project.
So here, let me put the clock note up here.
What does he do to reduce his stress?
Chronic masturbation. No,
So he belongs to the same club I do. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
that was fucking easy.
Nice. We need to change the name of our crew.
Okay, so find a new box. Okay, so how would you go about? So if you're going to do that, how would you go about finding your new vice den?
Well, I used to just basically go like to an opium den. So, I mean, I hate to keep pushing my blue coat guy, but I'm sure he knows places like that. So I'd probably try to meet with him again and just say, hey, Holmesy, unless Aldrich is going to help me. I don't know how that works, but
You could do that, but it's more how you're going to do it. Are you going to consort
yeah.
with your?
Yeah, I would definitely. That's always what I'm going to fall back on. I mean, I'd go to him and say, yeah, and he might know I overindulged the last time I went to my old place because, he is a blue coat, but I'll kind of let him know, yeah, I went too far and I got booted out. I got blacklisted. Another cool place I could go to get my hookup.
Okay, so we'll say, so roll your consort. We'll say it's going to be, again, he's a friend of yours, so this is a fairly controlled situation, and the effect is going to be standard.
With another
Nice.
6.
Multi-sided, choose a
Rigged.
side.
Rigged.
Damn, so I almost completed.
Yeah. So, so what is the other thing that you're going to do?
Well, I can't continue to work on this. I have to do something else, right?
Correct.
I don't know, Desi, do you know what you're gonna do? Because I think I'm gonna think about this for a little bit.
I'm gonna pull my stress down and I guess try to complete the book.
Okay, so let's do the book first. So you're going to tinker with it?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll.
Be controlled?
Yeah. I mean, you're doing it in your grotto, so
What's the effect?
standard. Nope. Okay, so that is enough to fill your clock.
Nice.
So when you are you're in your grotto and you are working at your workspace and you are tinkering away, trying to get the lock open, and you're listening to the lock, trying to figure out the tumblers on it. And when you stop for a second, you realize that the lock's tumblers are moving independently, almost as if it's a creature or some sort of like mechanical being. Like the lock itself is recalibrating as it's listening to you. But it's also not particularly smart. So after you listen to it and you kind of figure out the pattern, it only takes you once or twice before you figure it out and are able to jimmy the lock real quick. When the lock opens with kind of a shriek. You can't tell if it's a mechanical shriek or almost kind of like an animal shriek. The book opens up, and there is an intense feeling that just washes over you. Just goosebumps, and like there is a weird feeling as if some being is reaching out and attempting to touch you. But you don't have enough information currently to know what to do with this. So you have this thrice locked book in your gear.
Oh, so now it's like another project to figure out what it actually does.
Because they're two separate actions.
So now that you've done that, you said you're going to go indulge. So how are you going to go and indulge yourself tonight?
Probably just head to the market.
Are you skulking through the market? Are you going there and attempting to...
I think I would just check in with Ojak and just kind of see the gossip of the day, what new wares he might have.
So would you say that, so you're attempting to consort with him to kind of figure out what's going on?
I guess. I mean, I don't have any points in consort, but
Okay. So roll your consort.
You don't want a powerful roll for stress anyway, or you'll overindulge and get kicked out like I did.
so controlled,
I would say risky and standard.
risky and standard.
Okay. So with a 3, you drop 3 off your stress.
6 would have been nice, but
Okay. So what is Aldrich doing tonight?
Well, he's got to do the
just
same
take
thing.
his
Gotta-
stress down.
Yeah, he's got to reduce his stress for one of his actions for sure.
Okay, so then he's going to the hooded proprietor at the docks. We'll say that he's going to go prowl, or he's going to go survey the situation.
Yeah.
He reduces his stress by 4.
Good deal.
So what is his other action going to be?
Do you have any projects he's continuing to work on?
He doesn't have any projects right now.
Can he help me finish my project?
He would have given you an additional die, but you already got a 6.
Oh, so basically it doesn't make any difference. Okay. Would he train maybe?
He can. You could have him acquire an asset.
What does that do? What is acquiring an asset?
Roll your crew's tier to determine relative quality of a temporary asset for usually 1 score. Assets can be a special item, a set of common items, a cohort, a vehicle, a service. It can be a set of dangerous items which will incur 2 heat for attempting to get them. Or he can engage in getting a permanent acquisition like a crew upgrade or a long-term project.
So basically, it's something that we would use in the next session.
Again, if it's something like if he goes for like a temporary asset, then yeah, you can do that. If he's looking for something special, that becomes kind of a bigger deal.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't, since he's not here, I really don't feel like saying that he would begin a project. I also, if we wanted to say he chooses training, that I would say we say he trains and then he can choose what he trained in next time he's here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel right
Right.
making a decision for him.
Can't
Or-
he?
Or he can reduce heat.
Was it heat or crew advancement? I thought there was one other place we could put stuff.
I don't see anything
Oh,
about.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was probably just looking in the wrong spot. I'm still getting used to these pages.
Mhm.
I mean, we really don't need to reduce the heat, but it seems like the best thing to do since he's really not here to make a choice.
Yeah, without impeding on what his character would do. Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, so then we'll have him say that he used the information from the score tonight, the way with the wreck on the bridge and everything like that, that he went back and basically kind of muddled with some of the scenes of the crime, as it were.
Hmm.
So he reduces the heat by 3.
Oh, nice.
So, and with that,
Oh, I still have my one other action.
oh yeah, you certainly do. What are you gonna do?
I guess I will train. How does that work?
What you gonna train in? You get 1 XP.
So I can put it in like either insight prowess or resolve to try to fill that bar.
Mhm.
Okay. Prowess. So I just clicked one. So
Yep.
okay. So there we go.
So, with that, our score tonight went off. You have acquired a factory to assist you, and
technically a carriage.
that is true. You have also
Yeah. We had that dinghy too.
Mm-hmm.
But the carriage is used to kind of roam around town and pick up money for us, which is, I guess, what becomes like the extra payoff when we do occult jobs or whatever.
yeah.
We just
Yeah,
have to make occult jobs so we get extra payout.
Yeah, I've noted the carriage in the factions sheet.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
So with that said, with our XP and everything awarded, our session has come to an end, even a little early tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
And we will be back on Monday for our Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition Chronicle, our 45th session.
Damn.
Is it our 45th or 46th? This was our 45th. I think it's our 46th.
Amazing. Cool.
So, awesome. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Heck yeah. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We're going to wrap a little early. Go get some dinner. Have a good night, guys, and we will see you, or I will see you tomorrow. Friday is Jackbox Games from the couch, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Community play, so you guys show up because you guys make it fun. I will see you guys next time. Stick around for Raid.